Okay, so welcome. I'm glad to have all you ladies here, and I am happy to for teach for Lisa. I actually love teaching core. It's one of my favorite things to teach, and I don't teach core right now, but I love subbing in for my teachers when they need some help. So yeah. So we're starting on our backs. Let the legs stretch out. The feet can come toward the corners of the mat. The arms resting down by the sides of the body. Let's go ahead and turn the biceps and the palms to face up here and allow your shoulders to relax down into the mat and ultimately down into the earth. Let your body begin to settle and just observing, right, what's coming along with you into your practice this evening. How are things around your house where you're practicing? Is it loud in your space? Do you have animals coming and going, or kids or anything like that that might distract you a little bit? That's all good, right? We're practicing. The important thing is that you are here. I'm here. We have shown up, and we will get out of this what we put into it, knowing that we might be distracted and we might be pulled away from our practice a little bit just because we are practicing at home. Let's breathe in a way now that we add a sense of spaciousness to the torso, especially around the ribs, the belly, and the chest. So let the breath layer of the body begin to heighten. The awareness of the breath body heightens here. And as best you can, sending more and more of your attention right down into the very center of yourself. So I would say that we're probably feeling that around the navel center, the solar plexus. This is the Manipura chakra. The color associated with this area of the body is yellow. It has to do with courage, some intuition, along with the mind. We get this place of intuition, right? In the energetic and spiritual talk of yoga and other modalities, we know that there's some brain tissue in the gut, in the solar plexus area here. So we get a lot of good feelings, bad feelings about how things are going, where we're headed in our lives. So we want to connect strongly to this area of our body so that we can build our connection and build our sensitivity to it, and be able to listen more and more to our own knowing and wisdom and body. Practice breathing deeper and longer. Let the inhales really fill the space of your belly, your chest. Ultimately, we're expanding in the rib cage. And as we breathe out, let's start to draw the navel a little stronger toward the spine and help to empty the breath out a little bit more completely. So a big breath in to expand the body. And a long, lingering breath where we begin to feel the strength of being able to contract the abdominals, pulling the navel toward the spine and helping empty the breath. as our exhalations become more complete and we push a little bit more breath out, then we can invite more clear, clean breath into the body. So let this practice be about improving not only our strength and connection to the solar plexus and the core of the body, but the breathing, right? Breathing is the most important part of our practice. The jaw is relaxed here, the forehead and the eyes are relaxed. Moving the attention down and into the very center of strength, wisdom, and knowing. As you're ready, I want you to take your arms back over the top of the head and allow your body to stretch long. Now, if this is uncomfortable in the shoulders in any way, then wider arms, even like a T position. Just let the arms stretch away from you and maybe back over the top of the head so that you're inviting more space into the body. And then deepen the breath. Stretch long through your legs as you stretch back through the arms. And as you exhale, just let the body kind of settle in. Let the bones settle toward the earth. And take a few more rounds of breath here. Breathing in deep, breathing out from the back of the throat. Practice inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's do one more like that. In through the nose and out the mouth. Good, back to breathing just in and out through the nose then. Let the arms come down by the sides of the body if you haven't brought them there already. And let's take a moment to bend the knees so the feet are on the floor. And the feet are going to be about hip distance apart, okay? Just going to start to push back toward my mat here as well. I want you to take the arms, and I'm going to give you an option here that we haven't used a lot, but it's just crossing the arms over the chest. So the right hand comes toward the right hand to left shoulder. Left hand to right shoulder. You can always bring your fingertips behind and interlace behind the head if you find that that's a better way to work for your head, neck, and shoulders. Okay? So let's take a big breath in. And as you exhale, navel to the spine, curl yourself up. Tuck your chin into that space, like between your wrists there. Curl up, pointing the elbows toward the legs. And then let's just release it back down. Exhale, curl up. And inhale, release back down. Press your low back, mid back down into the floor as you do these few raises here. Exhale, curling up, navel to the spine. Release the shoulders and the head. Last one coming up. And then release it back down. Now let your arms come down by your sides. You're going to draw the knees into the chest and work a reverse crunch. So slowly pick up your hips, scooping your tailbone away from the floor. And this draws the knees toward the upper ribs. Exhale, still pull the navel toward the spine and let the hips just ease up. Off the ground here, so we're really working into those lower fibers of the abdominals. I want you to take your time and exhale all your breath as you're squeezing in. Inhale to come apart, exhale, squeeze it in. And apart. We're going to do one more. Exhale, squeeze in. Now let your knees rest above the hips here. So we have about a 90-90. 90 at the back of the knees, 90 at the front of the hips. Arms are going to go out like a T. And we'll begin to drop the legs to the left and then over to the right. So our work transfers into the
internal and external obliques. These are muscles in the side of the waist that allow us to rotate. So as we're rotating, keep breathing. Try to exhale as you're taking your legs to the side. Inhale as you're coming center. Also, work to keep your shoulders engaged and anchored to the floor, to your mat. Feel your body warming up, working through those internal and external obliques. All right, let's go one more time, legs to the left, and one more with the legs to the right. Come back to the center, drop the feet down, reach around and grab a block, one of your blocks. We're gonna put that between the inner thighs, squeeze the block, squeeze the inner thighs against the block here. And as you do this, I want you to also pull your navel toward your spine and press your low back down into the floor. When you inhale, just soften the work you're doing. So exhale, squeeze the block, press the navel and low back to the spine or to the floor. And inhale, just soften. Exhale, empty the breath, push the low back into the floor. Squeeze the block. Inhale and release. Exhale, squeeze together and push down through your back. Inhaling, softening. Exhale, squeeze the block, press the spine. We're going to do two more like this. Exhale, squeeze to the midline and press down. Inhale and let it go. Here's your last one. Squeeze it in. As you're squeezing in, pick up the knees or the feet off the ground. Stretch the legs up toward the ceiling. And your knees can stay soft here. Okay? We're going to keep squeezing that block between the inner thighs and bring the arms closer in. Maybe your hands go underneath your hips here. We're going to curl the hips up again. But as we curl up, we're also squeezing the block. So a little lift. I don't even need to see your hips lift off the ground. There's just the intention to lift. So we're squeezing to work the inner thighs. And we're also squeezing to work down into the deepest of our abdominal muscles. It's called the transverse abdominis. Think of it wrapping around you like a corset. We're going to take about 5 more of these. Keep pulling the navel in and down toward the floor as you scoop your hips up. All right? Okay, here come our last 2. Exhaling as you're pressing up. And then release. Take your hands out from underneath you. Take out the block. Let's drop the feet to the edges of the mat, and now let your knees go from side to side. Sometimes I like the arms reaching back over the top of the head as I do this, especially working core, so that you can get a little bit more length out of the belly, out of the sides. Feels good. Feels good to work the core. All right, so let's make our way back into the center. Walk your feet a little more hip distance. Draw your right knee into your chest and see if you can curl your head, neck, and shoulders up here. You're welcome to put a hand behind the back of the head to get a little bit more support for your neck. And we'll just squeeze in here. So practice emptying your breath, squeezing in just a little bit tighter. Almost like you're doing a tiny little pulse here. Squeezing in. Good. Let's let the shoulders and the head down, and we'll just switch sides. So left knee comes in, hug it in, curl yourself up. Option to put a hand behind the back of the head, and then really empty your breath. It's like you're doing these tiny little pulses. The low back still presses to the ground, the navel toward the spine, squeezing in, a little assistance from the hands and the arms. All right, last one here. Squeeze up and let everything come back down. Stretch your body long. Legs extend, arms extend. Breathing in and out. Let's circle our ankles a little bit. Circle the feet. Circle the wrist a little bit here too. Good. Now re-bend your knees. Place the feet onto the ground here. Reach for the block. Put it between the inner thighs again. And if you have a big blanket under your head, you might move that out of the way. We're going to work into some bridge poses here to work into the glutes, right? So feet walk back a little bit so your shins are vertical. Arms by your sides. Press your hips up and squeeze on your block. Now you can walk your feet a little bit closer in here too if it feels like you need to go a little more narrow to adjust for the block. So squeeze together and then lift the hips up. So use your buttock muscles, use your inner thighs. Don't let go of that block, but start to lower the hips down almost to the floor and press back up. Squeeze in, squeeze the buttock muscles. Let your breath flow here. Breathing in and breathing out from the back of your throat. Stay soft in your head and neck, but stay committed and firm through the legs and through the core. Now squeeze the butt a little bit more as you're going up. Squeezing that block, squeezing the glute muscles. Let's go to the top and stay at the top now. Pause here for a couple of breaths as you squeeze in. Keep squeezing the buttock muscles here as well. So the seat is strong. Breathing, extending, making space in the body. All right, let's lower the hips down, nice and easy. Take that block out from the middle of the legs, or between the legs. Draw your knees in and just rock yourself here from side to side so you're massaging your back. Rock a little bit. All right, now let's put the feet back down. We're going to go without the block this time, but I want you to feel that just awareness in your inner thighs and keep using that awareness to help you work from that place. So let's press our hips up, press the heels down into the mat. Think of the inner thighs coming energetically toward each other. Now firm up the seat, strong in the glute muscles. Let's do little pulses at the top, like a little flick at the top. Press, press. Stay soft in your shoulders, your throat, and your face. Get stronger in your glutes. Press your heels. Work your hamstrings and your glutes. Keep pressing up. We're going to go about 7 more. 5, 4, 3. Keep breathing. Hold this one up. Hold up. Squeeze in. Now drop the knees together. Squeeze the inner thighs toward each other and go down and up. Full motion, down toward the floor and up. Move your knees away from your shoulders, lengthening through your front body and squeezing the butt. All right, let's go up and hold this time. Hold, squeeze the inner thighs together, firm up the seat. All right, now let's open this. Maybe open your feet a little bit wider. Pinkies toward the corners or toward the edges of your mat. Now press your knees open. Press open and work through the outer thighs. So bring all your awareness to the outer seam of the leg. You're rolling toward your pinky toes. Press it out, little presses, out and out and out. Good, we'll do a few more here. Keep breathing. Soft in your face and your throat. All right, let's go with a full range of motion where we squeeze in, and then press out. Squeeze the legs together. Press out toward the pinky toes. Good. Keep going, a couple more. Just getting in here so I can see. Yeah, so legs squeeze in and legs press out. Keep your hips lifted. If you can, try to keep the hips up. We'll take a few more rounds of this. Good. All right, now hold the legs out. You're rolling towards your pinky toe. Now those little presses, out, out, out. Make that connection at the outer thigh to the buttock muscles. Think about that dimple area. It's possible, right? The dancer's dimple. Press out, out, out. Rolling toward the pinky toe. Take a couple more. Let it burn. Think of Lisa here. We're dedicating our buns to Lisa. And then let's come back into that full range of motion where we're lowering down and pressing back up. Your feet can be about hip distance apart here. Press evenly into your feet. Down it goes and up. So think about pressing down, lifting up. So you have resistance on the way down and the way up. We're going to do about 7 more here. And 6. Full range. Strong in your seat, strong in the belly. Can you get a little bit stronger through these last few rather. And then we'll hold up and roll the spine down to the floor. All the way down. Let the tailbone release. Now open your arms wide and rock the knees side to side. Let it all go. Focus on releasing any tension that you can, especially on the exhalation. So big breath in and a long, steady breath out, emptying and releasing. Now let's drop the knees to the left side. Stretch your right arm back, open up the body here, get long. Maybe cross your left ankle on top and outside of your right knee to anchor yourself into that stretch a little bit more. Good, take another breath. Let's undo. Take your left ankle off, right arm comes down, sweep the legs through center and over to the other side. Maybe cross your right ankle on the top and outside of your left knee and reach your left arm back. Get long and spacious in the body. Allowing a couple moments of softness here. Good, when you're ready to come out, left arm comes down, right foot comes off that left knee, and bring yourself back into the center. And we'll take a moment to rock a little. You can rock forward and back a few times to massage out your back. If you don't care for this, just roll yourself to the side and come up into a seated position. And then we're gonna flip it over onto the belly, okay? I'm gonna turn my mat just slightly on the diagonal so I don't have to crank my head too much. All right, so all the way down we go onto the belly here. And the legs are wide, the feet are wide rather. Let's wiggle waggle the hips a little bit from side to side here. And then begin to walk the legs a little bit closer together. And I want you to feel for what is the right distance for you, okay? So you may have to adjust a little bit. Right, reach your arms forward. Your legs are reaching back, your arms are reaching forward. Let's lift our right arm and left leg off the ground here. Now what I want you to try to do is just use the strength of the right side, the right arm and the left leg
try not to press down into your other limbs, but rather float the right arm and the left leg up without pushing down too much into your other limbs. Now switch, try left arm and right leg. Same thing, try not to push down into the floor too much, but focus on lifting the left arm and the right leg. All right, let's change again. Right arm, left leg, and then left arm and right leg. So as you can, I want you to start to just move this a little bit more in sync. So as your right arm is going up, your left arm is going down, vice versa with the legs. It's like we're doing a little swimming motion here. And working through the core muscles of your back body and into your hips again. Your glute muscles, your hamstrings. All right, hold up. Can you hold both arms and both legs up? And pull your elbows back by your sides. And then reach your arms forward again. Pull the elbows back wide, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Work from your center. Stretching out. We're going to go one more. Pull back. Good. All right, now let's just stack the hands under the head. Let your legs rock a little from side to side. You might do reverse windshield wipers here, where your knees are bent. And just letting things get a little softer. Blood flow into the low back, into the hips. Okay, so let's come into the center, straighten out your legs, bring yourself up onto your forearms here, and then tuck your toes under, and scooch myself just a little bit forward. So what I want you to do is tuck your toes under and start to pull the navel away from the floor so that you start to feel like you're almost rounding up away from the floor and your hips come up. You're pressing into your forearms. Your knees are still on the ground, perhaps. Now lay the thighs and the belly back to the ground. So you untuck the toes and you end up in Sphinx pose. Then let's go again. Tuck your toes, press your forearms, pull in your belly, tuck your chin, round your body up away from the ground. Knees can straighten. If that works for you, straighten the legs. And then the knees come down, the thighs, the belly, and we end up back in Sphinx pose. Let's do that again. Tuck your toes, start to tuck the chin, press down, curl yourself away from the ground, and then slowly lower. Knees, thighs, hips, belly, untuck the toes. Let's breathe for a couple of rounds of breath here. Just pausing, stretching the belly. Good, now we're going to go up into that forearm hover and pause there for a little bit. So tuck your toes, pull in the belly strongly, start to tuck the chin, lift the thighs, and maybe straighten the legs here. So think of hollowing out the belly and pulling the navel toward the spine again. Lengthen from the heels to the top of your head, hovering away from the floor. Let's take a couple more breaths. And then the knees go gently to the floor. And we'll walk up onto the right hand and then the left hand. Now we're going to walk back down onto the right forearm and the left forearm. So we're going to go right hand, right forearm, left forearm. You can do this with your legs straight if that works for you. So you go right hand, right forearm, left forearm. Knees can be down. You could skip some. All right. Taking your time, moving with confidence, and moving with strength. All right, let's go down this time. Lay the knees down, thighs down, belly down, and ease yourself into your Sphinx pose again. Breathe from the back of the throat, relax your shoulders and your neck. Okay, so we're gonna do that one more time because I want to start from the left hand before we started on the right. Now we're gonna start on the left hand. So let's prepare. You're gonna pull in the elbows a little bit, pull in the belly, start to round away from the floor, pick up the thighs, maybe tuck your toes and straighten your legs, okay? Or work from your knees. Now you go left hand, left forearm, right forearm. So slowly walking up and down and down. And maybe the legs are straight. You can go back and forth between knees down and legs straight. Here's our last one. Left hand, left forearm, right forearm. Lay the knees down, thighs, belly, and then stack your head on your hands again and just breathe. Option to bend the knees and rock yourself from side to side a little bit. Good. Alrighty, so we're gonna make our way up to downward facing dog. Take your time, come to center, pull the hands back by the chest, and bring yourself up. Tuck it over under the toes and go to downward facing dog here. So at first, let's press out the heels toward the ground, letting one knee bend as the other leg straightens, and then reverse or switch. Press firmly into your hands and all your fingertips. Good, you're doing great. All right, let's flow a little bit here. So come high on your toes and then round yourself forward into a full plank position and pull your low belly in and lift your hips, go back to downward facing dog. I want you to move from your center, go forward to plank, and then pull back to downward dog. Every time you do this, feel that you can have some resistance moving in the opposite direction. And of course, you can be on your knees and move from child's pose to your knee plank. So as you're pushing your hips back, your arms are resisting a little bit. They're like, no, we don't want you to go. And as you're coming forward to plank, your legs are resisting a little bit. No, we don't want you to go that way. So you've got a mental resistance. Good. Next time you go to downward dog, let that be the last one. Allow your right leg to lift behind you and pull your right knee into your chest and step that right foot through. Step that right foot right up there next to your right hand. This could be a block opportunity here if you feel like you need one or two blocks. Just gonna take this into a twist. So staying in your lunge, right leg is forward, left leg is back. Let's take that right arm up to the sky. Reach with it. Good. All right, now tap the right hand down toward the front edge of your mat, maybe even off the mat. Then reach out and circle the right arm around and reach towards your right hip or your left foot even. Go up through the right arm and let the arm tap or the hand tap in front of your right foot. And then go up with that right arm and around behind you. Let's go again. Reach out long down the mat, maybe off the mat, and then come up strong and around behind you. Good. Right arm comes back down to be on the mat next to your right foot. Let's tuck the back toes under. Bring yourself back to that three-legged dog with the right leg lifting. And pull the right knee in toward the center of your chest. Extend the right leg back and up. Now bring the right knee in toward the right elbow. And back and up. Right knee toward left elbow. Here's our twist. And back and up. Let's go through there one more time. We're going to take it to the center. Press it up and back as you breathe. Exhale, right knee to right elbow.
Breathe in, extend, three-legged dog. Right knee to left elbow. And back it up, one more time. Drop that right foot down, lower the knees, take your hips back towards your heels. Resting back in your child's pose, or if you need a different resting position. Okay, I'm not sure about y'all, but I just broke out into a major sweat over that. My glasses are fogging up, so I'm gonna take those off. All right, let's move from downward facing dog. We'll get to that other side. So come back up, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press down strongly into each of your fingertips, especially your first finger and your thumb. Hips are high, belly's pulled in, the body's working all together here. All right, let's step your left foot forward and lower your back knee down to the ground. Take a moment to come into our twist. So the right hand is down, the left arm's gonna go up, spinning and opening up the belly here, opening the chest and the heart. Keep breathing. All right, now the belly pulls in a little bit. Start to reach the left arm way out in front, maybe even tapping the fingers down to the front of the mat. Then lift up strongly, circle your left arm back and around, reaching toward the back of your mat. All right, belly pulls in as we sweep that left arm way forward and down, and then reach up and around and back. Feel your ability to move from your center as you do this. You're super connected to the body here, right? And then as we reach back, here comes our last one. We're gonna reach that left arm forward again, tuck the back toes under, and come up into your high lunge. Then let's sweep that left leg back and up into three-legged dog. All right, so now the left knee comes to the center as we shift forward toward plank. You can do these from your right knee. Send that left leg back and up. Left knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Left knee to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Let's go through it again. Exhale the knee into the chest. Inhale it up and back. Right knee comes toward that, left knee to left elbow. And back and up. And left knee toward right elbow. Back and up. Ooh, let's lower the knees down to the ground. Shift your body forward, hug your elbows into the body here. Now push yourself back to child's pose. So think of pushing straight back into child's pose. Come up to hands and knees, hug your elbows lower down, and then push yourself up and back, child's pose. Good. Now, of course, if you're more advanced, you can do this as chaturanga and back to downward facing dog. We'll do a couple more here, working on our shoulder strength, tricep strength. Take it back again. Here's our last one. We're gonna come forward and down, press up and back. We're gonna move through downward facing dog. And bring the feet up to the front of the mat. Inhale and lengthen your spine here, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Come out and all the way up to the top. Lift and reach. And bring your hands down and into the center. Good. Let's bring our arms around, sit back into chair pose. So kind of a high chair for now. If I were to turn to the side, you can see my hips, my legs are almost straight here. So what we'll do is just move ourselves back through the hips, drop deep, and then press back up almost to standing. Let's add arms sweeping back as we go into our chair and forward as we come up toward standing. Exhale down and back with the arms, and then inhale coming forward and up.
Let your palms open here so you're strong all the way into the tips of the fingers. You're connected heels to toes here as well. All right, let's lift up. This is gonna be our last one. We'll drop down and back, reach with the arms. Now come all the way up. Lift, 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 stand all the way up straight. Exhale and forward fold. Good, let's take a moment to rest here. You can widen the knees, widen the feet. Bend the knees. Maybe grab your opposite elbows. Let your head hang a little bit. Strong legs here as we sweep a little bit, maybe from side to side. Letting the back release, letting the arms release. Good, last couple of breaths. And then lift up just a little bit. Let's bring our hands to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. We'll move through vinyasa here, coming into full plank, and lower yourself down. Take a little cobra, a little higher if that works for you. Pull your shoulders back, pull your elbows back. And then let's take it back to downward facing dog, okay? And we go. All right, right leg lifts up behind. Pull your right knee in toward your chest. Step that right foot through. You're gonna come up to warrior two. So you wanna anchor your left heel and bring yourself up. Spin the arms out. See if I can grab my glasses and I can't see a thing. I'm sweating bullets too. Y'all sweaty? Okay, so easing into Virabhadrasana 2. Let's reverse it. Let's take the back arm down and the front arm up. Good. Come back through warrior two. Now straighten your right leg and reach out a little bit. Just a bit. You're firming up through the abdominals, of course, and kicking your left hip back in order to reach the right leg out a little bit further. All right, drop the right hand down toward your shin, but let it hover if you can. Otherwise, you may end up using a block under the hand for a little extra support. Okay, I'm gonna drop that block off to the side. I'm hovering my right arm. I'm gonna lift my left arm a little bit here too. All right, everything's moving out of the very center of the body here. We're gonna lift up a little bit and then release back down. Allow your body to work together. Lift up a little bit and then hover back down. Good, let's go 3 more. We're gonna lift a bit and release. Lift about halfway. Now this time you're coming all the way up and reversing. Bend the front knee so you're back into your warrior two reverse. Back to warrior two proper. And then let's go through the vinyasa here if you like, right? We're gonna switch to that other side, but you can move through your chaturanga to the floor, hugging the elbows, rolling up, and then back we go to downward facing dog, okay? All right, let's do the other side. Left leg lifts, and pull the left knee in, step the left foot right underneath your left knee and anchor your right heel to the ground. And we'll come up into our strong warrior two. Remember the left knee above the ankle here. Keep it all aligned with the toes and the knee. I can't talk. And breathe. Good, let's reverse it. So right arm goes down, left arm goes up. Open up the side of your body. Straighten your left leg and start to reach out. Go conservatively here. So reaching out through the left arm as we kick the right hip back. We'll tip that left hand down a little bit. Hover if we can. Block if you need more stability, okay? And the right arm goes up a little bit. Now lift out of your center. So you're just gonna lift up about maybe halfway. And then lower back down with the hover. Lift up a little bit and down.
Press into your heels, press into your big toes. Focus on your breathing. Good, here comes our last one. We're gonna take it slowly, all the way up and back into reverse. Left knee bends, we'll find our way back to warrior two. Shoulders relax. Good, and then the arms come down, hands on either side of that front foot. Raise the back heel. Option to move through your vinyasa here, or come into a seated position because that's where we're headed. All right, so we're gonna come down, perhaps, moving through that vinyasa. You're doing great. And then push ourselves up and back and transition into a seated position, okay? So we're gonna work into the triceps a little bit here. I'm gonna reach for my blanket so I can sit on that. We're sitting for a little bit. I'm gonna make sure that the back is not too challenged with this, all right? Okay, so just crisscross the legs for now. Roll your shoulders back, pull your elbows back, and start to press the palms back, like you're hinging at your elbows and working through your triceps. So try not to drop your head too far forward, lift it up, open the chest, and extend and flex at the elbow. Getting the upper arms here. The palms are a little soft. We're focusing in on the upper back of the arm. Squeezing the shoulder blades a little bit together. Good, you got it. Ooh. Think about 3 more here. When you get to that third one, I want you to pause, hold the arms in that straight position, squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit more together, squeeze the arms toward each other, and then bring your arms around and hug yourself. Wrap one arm on top, tuck your chin, hug in to open up the space between your shoulder blades, and to stretch through your triceps a bit. Let's inhale, open the arms and switch the cross. So you're gonna put the other arm on top, wrap around, give yourself a good hug, tuck in a little bit to open the upper back. Feels so good to work the body strong like this. Let's take the arms all the way up now. Reach to the sky, palms face each other, and the palms come together and down into the center. Good. Now sweep your arms back out like strong warrior two arms, and turn your palms so they face behind you. So your thumbs are down. And we're gonna press the arms back a couple times with straight arms. Like you're pushing through, I'm gonna say peanut butter. Have you ever thought of pushing through peanut butter? That would be pretty intense. Maybe just working through a pool, if we could be in a pool. Oh, or in the ocean. All right, now we're gonna make circles here. So start to circle, lift the chest, open up the sternum here, or the collarbones. Circle from the shoulders, circle from closer to the spine if you can. All right, now pause here, turn your palms forward and circle forward. Now as we circle, these are small at first, and I want you to get a little bit bigger, bringing the arms back and up and forward. So big circles in control from your shoulders. Begin to make these circles smaller. So start to spiral in. The palms are still forward, and we make these tiny little circles once we get close in. Good. Now turn the palms down like warrior two arms. Lift and open the chest. Good. Let's release the arms down. Holy moly, right? Let's roll out the shoulders a little bit. Whew. Shake it out a bit. All right. So we'll open up the legs. Open the legs wide here. Take a little bit of stretching. I'm still sitting up on my folded blanket with this. I'm gonna take the hands down the center at first and stretch a little bit forward, lengthen out through the heels and out through the soles of the feet. Breathe and find space in your spine here. Space in the front body, space in the legs, inner thighs. Fold in as it's comfortable for you. Leaning and reaching, pouring out of the pelvis here. Smooth breathing, strong legs. Good, let's come up a little bit, actually a lot, and turn your body a little bit toward the right, fold over your right leg. Now this is gonna lengthen out that low back area as we do this. Be cautious about how far you're stretching. Make sure that you're still supportive with the musculature of your body. You're not just hanging out over this leg. So the legs are powerful, pressing down and out. The spine is lengthening. We're gonna walk through the center and over to the left leg. Spin your body so it's like your navel starts to point to the center of that left leg. And then easing into this. So you feel that low part of your back starting to stretch with this. We've worked that area a good bit, especially with the hovers and things that we've done. So lengthening. Couple more breaths. And the belly stays firm. We're going to walk ourselves back into the center and then all the way back up. Okay? Let's bring our legs in. Ooh, yeah. All right, so working in a little bit of bridge pose. I'm sorry, not bridge, boat pose before we go to the ground. I'm going to open my blanket out so it's already underneath me. And the reason I do this is because my tailbone hurts when I do boat pose. So, get a little padding and that makes it feel a little bit better. Now the other option is to go back and grab the block, put it between the inner thighs, so you get extra drawing in from your leg muscles and into that transverse abdominis, okay? So arms are gonna come forward, we'll lean ourselves back a little bit, pull in the belly. Pull in the belly, lean back. Think of tucking the tailbone under and toward the backs of your knees. Good, now come up high, lift up, straight back. Can you lift your arms up? And then exhale, roll it back a bit. Not all the way down, but close. Maybe it's more like halfway. Squeeze in, squeeze the block if you've got it. Now lift yourself back up. And lower it down. Like you're starting to come into that boat pose. Squeeze your block. I find I forget to squeeze the block here. Let's come all the way back up. And then let your arms come down. Take the hands behind the backs of the knees. Straighten your arms and lean back. Now start to rock back, but the feet are gonna come with you now. See if you can lift your shins and your feet up. Squeeze that block. And can you let go of the arms now? Can you let go of the legs rather? Breathe, work the feet and the hands. The hands and feet are part of the pose here, so be strong as you reach through your fingertips and your toe tips. Squeeze in, one more breath. Ooh, let's drop the feet down, take out that block. The soles of the feet together with a nice open diamond shape here for the legs, and lower yourself into a bit of a fold. I like to push my elbows to the inner knees here to open and lengthen the belly and the spine. Face is soft. Working the powerful legs and hips, letting them open up a little bit here. Now lift
lift your spine back up and draw your feet in closer. See if you can bring them right back in so that you end up in butterfly instead of that diamond shape. You're gonna grab onto your feet or your ankles and press your knees toward the ground. Squeeze the buttock muscles together in order to take the knees toward the ground. Breathe here, fire up the legs. Take another breath. Good, let's let that go. Help the legs come back in. And then we'll work our way down onto our backs. Let's go slowly like we're going through boat pose, okay? Arms forward, tuck the tail. Go as slow as you can. Easing your back to the ground. And then stretch your arms back over the top of your head. Reach yourself long. Arms relax to the sides or a little further down. Let's bring the knees in and stretch the legs up to the sky here. Open your legs a little bit. Circle your feet. Circle around the other direction. Good. Bring the legs closer together. Now reach up and grab your right leg and start to draw it closer to your body. Can you curl your head, neck, and shoulders up and then start to lower the left leg down so that it hovers off the ground? Move the navel toward the spine here. Reach through your legs. All right, we're going to do 3 scissor switches to switch this up. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3. Grab the back of your left leg. Now, both legs go up. Shoulders and head come down. Rest here for a breath. And then curl up, grab the back of your left leg, pull it to you, and hover the right leg down. Keep breathing and extending out through your feet. Let's do those 3 big scissor switches. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Good. Hug that right leg into your body. And then lay it down. Now bend your right knee and take your right leg across to the left. So coming into a twist. Pause here, breathe. All right, I'm moving, but I want you to stay down there. So you're in your twist and the right knee is moving toward the left side here. Twisting the belly to the right. Good. And then ease your right leg back in. Let's switch. Bring your left knee in. And then let your left knee go across to the right side so that you're coming into that twist again. Except left knee is moving toward the right. The belly is spinning toward the left. Ribs are turning toward the left. Allow your breath to be more about the exhalation here. See if you can start to feel some softness coming. Good. Unwind and bring yourself to center. And any other little move or stretch that you feel like you want to do here until you're ready to rest back and down into Shavasana. So any props that you want to take with you, support your head, support your legs, however it feels best for you. Ease yourself into this resting place where we can integrate the practice into the body and the breath, all the tissues, into the heart. Breathe from the back of your throat. Allow your body to settle in. Well, somehow it got to be 6:30, just like that. We worked our butts off today, though. I feel like we did. It was just because I got so sweaty. Release any last bits of tension that you can here out of your face, your jaw, Eyes relax into their sockets. The spine settles, feel all that length and space in your back, as well as the strength and tone of the muscles that govern the posture. So the spine feels elongated and strong and connected. And hopefully the limbs feel the same. Feel the limbs really attached to the body, the axial body. The jaw is soft. The eyes get softer. The forehead lets go. Let's allow our attention to move down into the space of the ribs, the belly, and maybe the chest as well. Connect to your breathing. Feel the rhythm of your breath and let it slow down. Feeling everything integrate. Body, mind, heart, and breath. Continue to slow yourself down. Soothe and ease yourself with your breath. Feel your connection to your core center. Breathe down into your very center. This place of wisdom and knowing, intuition, solar plexus, place of power and courage. And the color that goes along with this area of the body is yellow. Imagine a bright yellow lighting up the center of your body. If you have some more time to stay here and rest, absolutely do that. Just stay and rest as long as you can. If you're ready to move on with your evening, start to deepen your breath. Don't be in a hurry. Just feel that deepening of the inhalation and your connection to your body, your physical body again. Little movements with your fingers and your toes. Starting to move at your ankles and your wrists. And bending your elbows and bending your knees until you're ready to roll off to one side. Spending as much time there as you like. And then we'll push ourselves up and into a seated position. Good. Let's close the eyes for a few moments. Feeling the breath help you acclimate into this upright position. And prepare yourself to re-engage back into life with your family, your friends, your jobs, and 2020, September the 1st. We need our strength, we need our community as much and more maybe than ever. Let the hands come together. So honored to be able to have this time with all of you tonight to teach in Lisa's place. Take a moment to hold her in our thoughts, our hearts, our prayers. Holding her family and sending her father love and light. May he rest in peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Candle for Lisa.